Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have quite a fun looking puzzle. I read very briefly through the start of the rules on this one, and it has a decent little concept with it called exclusivity. Essentially, that's what I'm calling. I'm not sure that yeah, they call it that, but we're going to call it exclusivity. And this is the name of the puzzle is Nightly Exclusive Dominoes by Tingo. I have not done a puzzle by Tingo before, so hopefully this is quite nice. I would assume it is. If it makes it out there into the world and people tend to approve of it, usually is good. So what are the rules to this one? There actually are quite a few rules, so let's get started on them. So we have normal Sudoku rules apply. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. Now, cells that are knight's move in chess apart cannot contain the same digit. So I usually use this as an option, as a example. If this is X, none of these can ever be X because these are all a knight's move away from this point. So therefore, we can remove those options. Digits cannot repeat within killer cages and must sum to the value in the top left corner. So we have a couple of those. So these two digits, when they're added together, will value that given clue. Cells joined by V sum to 5, cells joined by X sum to 10. Not all X's and V's are given. So we have a couple of X's and V's. And we have, just very simply, these two add together to 5, these two add together to 10. That's pretty simple logic there. Now we have black Kropki dots. So black dots separate cells of 2-to-1 ratio values. Not all black dots are given. So there's a lot of justification that there are not negative constraints in a lot of these. So whatever these two digits are, they must be in a 1-to-2 ratio. You can look at it. If this is X, this is either X over 2 or 2X, or you can just say whatever this digit is, this one is either half or double of it. Now we also have digits along gray lines are palindromes and must be read the same forwards and backwards. So we have a bunch of little palindromes all about here. So essentially what this is saying, whatever this is, these read the same forwards and backwards. You can take the obvious assumption of what that really means. I'm not going to go into it in the rules section just yet. And then we have additionally, all cell pairs, dominoes, joined by a clue are unique within that clue type. For example, if a black dot joins a domino and the values of those two cells are 3 and 6, the 3-6 domino cannot be used for other black dot joined dominoes. This does not exclude any other clue type from using that same cell value pair, providing the clue type also only uses the cell value pair once. So there's a lot of words here, but it's pretty simple to understand. The example was if, let's say, this was a 3-6 pair, none of these could be 3-6 pair because you've already used the 3-6 pair. Let's say this 10 clue was a 3-7, therefore none of these other 10 clues could be 3-7s. Now, the one thing I'm not 100% sure on is they do say that all cell pairs dominoes joined by a clue are unique within that clue type. Now, I don't normally consider a diagonal like this to be a domino, but there's nothing, and there's nothing in the rules that specifically states that this is considered a domino. So I think what I will do in terms of the solve is not necessarily use this to say that these are all uniques, and we'll see where it goes. Because I don't know if that is should be an assumption that these are considered dominoes or not. I've always considered dominoes to be orthogonally connected. That might just be my ignorance and not knowing all the rules of some Sudokus that are out there, but that's how I'm going to run with it for now until I find otherwise. So those are all the rules. Again, links in the description below. You all can play along. And let's just jump into this thing. So what can we do? Well, the first thing I saw, which is fairly obvious here, is this collection of black Kropki dots. Now, without using our exclusivity at all, we really could say that these, there's no way that these could be the same as this, and there's really only one value or sets of values that these could ever be. Now, we know on black Kropkis you can never use 5, 7, and 9 because those digits cannot be halved or doubled and create a valid Sudoku. So we're looking at 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, and 4, 8. Now 3, 6 are exclusive to each other, not within the exclusivity of the rules of this thing, but they can only go with each other. So therefore, we know this can't be 3, 6. We know this has to be from 1, 2, 4, and 8. There are 4 digits here, so we use all 1, 2, 4s, and 8s. So therefore, this is a 3, 6. This is 1, 2, 4, 8. So these have to be the what am I looking for? What word am I looking for? The high and low value, the extreme value. That's what I'm talking about. So if we ever have a 1, 2, 4, 8, these are always going to be 1 and 8, and these are always going to be 2 and 4. Now, okay, here we go. Now that we put this information in, we can see that this exclude, these two digits must equal 10. There's only one way to do it with what we have here. This has to be 6. This has to be 4. So then 4, we can put everything in as needed, and we get a 10 clue. So this could be 7. This has to be 9. Now, where else? Well, this 4 here, we know this has to be a 4 because this is a palindrome, so they have to read the same front and back. The 6 clues seem to be the next thing. There's only either that or the 5 clues. I'm going to go with the 6 clues for now. There's only 2 ways to make a 6 clue. 2, 4, and 5, 1, but we don't rule any options out of this. So let's maybe look at our 5 clue. Again, there's only 2 ways to make a 5 clue, 2, 3, or 1, 4. This can never be 1, 4 because we have 2 4s looking at it, so it must be 2, 3. That 2, 3 is looking at this V, so this can never be 2, 4, so it must be, cannot be 2, 3, so it must be 1, 4. Now, we could have used the exclusivity rule here, but it doesn't apply, or it doesn't need to be used. We can just use normal Sudoku rules to say this has to be 1, 4. Now there's a 4 here, so let's put our 1 and our 4 in. Now that we know a lot of this, what about this X clue? Well, it has to be 2 digits equal 10. It's either 9, 1, can't be 9, 1, 8, 2, it could be 8, 2, 3, 7, can't be, and 6, 4, it can't be. So it has to just be 8, 2, and this has to be 2 because we have the 8s and the 2s looking at it. Now, this 2 here is going to look at this, is going to give us a 2 here because we have, again, a palindrome. Now we can look at our 6 clue. This either had to be 3, 2, or 1, 4. It can no longer be 3, 2. So it is 1, 4, and we've got the 1 and the 4 already showing, looking at it. So let's get rid of those. Now we can use our exclusivity clue, or rule type. We know this, wait, why did I say 1, 4? What am I, ridiculous? This cannot be 2, 4. It's only 2, 4, and 1, 5 are the options. We have a 1. This is 5 and 1. Let's not be a little stupid here. Now we can use this. This has to be from 2 and 4. It's the only option left with exclusivity. Oh, and I almost forgot. We also have a knight's move clue. So I could have been looking at this one already. The 2 sees this one. The 3 sees this one. So these must be 3 and 2. Now this 2 sees this guy. So this is 4 and 2. Don't forget your knight's moves. A lot of the times when we have a ton of, I've said this before in past videos, but when you have a bunch of different rule sets, sometimes you can miss out on 1 or 2 of them, especially the ones that you read first, because they're not sitting in your brain and you're not thinking about them. So sometimes we just have to look back at our rule sets and make sure we're doing things correctly. Now we have to have 5 and 9 left in here. We've got a 9 here. So let's put our 5 and our 9 in. We've got a palindrome, 9. We know what these 3 digits are in this row. They must be 3, 7, and 6, which means these have to be 3, 7, and 6, because palindrome. What further can we do then? What clues do we have left? Don't know. What about this guy in here? There's something in here. Oh, 7. The 7 clue looks into here, so this must be 7. Therefore, these must be from 3, 5, and 6, which gives us an 8 here. We also get a 1, 5, 9 triple here. Okay. Now, can we, let's go back to our, almost forgetting it again. Let's go back to our knight's move, and we can actually look at all of these 2 palindromes together, actually. this 7 rules out 7 from both of these, because this has to be read as a palindrome. This 7 also rules out 7 here, doing a nice move, so none of these can be 7. Therefore, this is 7. And we probably have some more stuff that I'm missing here. This 3 sees both of these, so therefore this is a 3. These are not. The 6 doesn't see anything yet, and the 5 doesn't see anything yet, so we can't quite do anything there. And the 3s and the 6s don't see anything down here. The 9 does see this guy, so we can get rid of 9 here, and the 1 sees this guy. All right, what do we have left? Now again, I'm not going to necessarily use exclusivity on these palindromes because I'm not quite sure that that is the intended response, because it doesn't specifically say that a domino can be on a diagonal. So I'm going to continue on that route for now. Let's look at, I guess, some basic Sudoku maybe. We can rule out quite a few things for our 1s. We know this can't be a 1, because if this can't, we got a palindrome. We get 2 sets of 1s here. How about 2s? So we got quite a few 2s, actually. This one can't be a 2, so one of these is, which means none of these are. This one can't be. This one can't be because of palindrome, so we get a 2 here. None of these can be 2s, and that can't be 2, so one of these is. How about 3? No, no. We already know that's a no. No, no. None of these can be. We know that can't be. This one can't be. So one of these is a 3. But we actually know that this one can't ever be a 3. Because if this is a 3, it means that... Wait, this one can't ever be 3. Because if this is a 3, it sees all of these, essentially. So that none of these would all have to be 6s. And that wouldn't ever work. But was there anything further on 3s? I don't really see it, so let's move on to our 4s. And let's see if we can get anything doing there. Okay, this 4 does see all of these, so this is a 4, this is a 1, this is therefore a 1 up here. Can we complete our 1s or do anything better with our 1s now? Not necessarily. One of these must be 1. So we had started on our 4s. Let's continue. I'm not seeing a lot here. Although, well, this one, okay, we do actually, this can't be 4. So this is 4. So we had just basic Sudoku looking in here, and then we had our palindrome ruling those out. So none of these can be 4s. This one we know can't be 4, so this one has to be. Now none of these can be, this can't be, so one of these is. And I think we just have the 1, 4 up here somewhere that we know. Oh, we know what the 4s are. This is 4, which means this is 4. This is 2. This is 1. This is 1. And we can get rid of a lot of stuff here. Now, did we finish off our 2s at all? Let's see. No, because we still have a couple of options there. How about our... Yeah, our 4s did finish. How about our 1s? We are left with one of these 2. So no, we did not finish our 1s with that. Okay, let's continue on our journey of trying to find the last few digits that we need. So one of these 2 must be, so none of these are. That's not, so one of these 2 is, so that's not. This one's not, so we get a 7 here. None of these can be 7, so one of these is. What further? We said one of these had to be 7 because of this 7 looks in here. I just didn't mark it, so one of these is. Which means none of these are, so one of these is. Now this 7, 7 here would work in terms of our palindrome. What about the 8s And if you notice, I keep looking over at my OBS because my microphone's been a pain in the butt. I think I had the video that I posted yesterday. Well, it'll be yesterday when it posts. I had some issues, and I'm hoping that it corrects itself because I don't want to keep having to dub videos. So we know one of these. Wait, am I correct in saying that? Yes, I am. So 8s. I was looking at 8s. I got into a little diatribe there. None of these can be 8, so none of these can. So one of these is 8. So therefore, none of these can be 8s, which means one of these two is 8, but we have 8s up here, so this has to be our 8. And maybe we could just move on to here. We've got 5 and 6 that have to go in here. No, that doesn't quite get us there. So let's either jump back into our 8s or, yeah, one of these must be an 8. We don't have much else there. Okay. And let's just look at our 9s real quick and try to see if we can work out what those need to be. And if we don't, then we'll go back and look elsewhere. So this is a 7-9 pair, because 7s and 9s are the only things that can go here. So this has to be a 7-9 pair, but it can't be a 9. So these are 7s. This is a 9. That 7 gives me this 7. We can get rid of our 7 markings on these. Now, did we finish our 7s? Yes, we did actually, because we can't put a 7 in any of these. This knight's move here sees this one. So therefore, it's going to come into here and tell us that this is 7. Okay. Let's look at our 9 again, just to see if we can make any further determinations here. And I don't see it. So let's look elsewhere. Again, I'm trying to avoid making the assumption that these are considered dominoes. For what purpose, we don't entirely know, but that's what I'm trying to do here. So what about this column? There's only 2 digits left. They have to be from 6 and 8. And sadly, we've got nothing there. What about these 3 guys? We need to have a 3. Oof, that's close to being good. 3 can be in 2 places. We need a 5, which can go anywhere. And we need that 8. And the 8 just can't go here. So these are 3, 5, and 8. Let's just put them in and get rid of our... That's not 3. That's not 8 either. Okay, so this putting it in did help. This must be 5 because we can't make this 3. We can't make this 3 or 8 because it would make this 3 or 8. So these are both 5s. Now that we have that 5, we can say that this is 6 and 5. And we get this digit. We're going to get both of them, actually. This has to be 9. This has to be 6. This 5 sees into here by knight's move, so we can get rid of that. It does not see into any others that I can see. Now we've got, these have to be from 3, 6, and 8. We can't put a 3 here. We already said that because it would put 3 here and that would see every single one of these. The same goes for the 6. Put a 6 here, we'd have to put a 6 here, and that sees everything. So this is an 8. Therefore, we can get rid of our 8. And we can put a 6 in here. And we can get our 8 and our 3. And this, therefore, needs to be a 6. This is a given digit of 9. And we look like we're almost done. Here, this row, we have to put a 9 in it. Can't go in any of these, so it must go here. This cannot be 3 or 5, so it must be 8. These have to be from 3 and 5. Let's get rid of that 9 marker there. We do have a 5 looking at it. Okay, so this is 3, this is 5. And we should be getting down to the last little bits and pieces here. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. So these have to be from 2, 8, and 3. That's not 2. That's not 8. This is not 8. So this is 8. Let's get rid of these markers. Do the 2 and the 3 see anything? No, they don't, because this guy doesn't see in there. There's no 3s around. Okay, what about this guy? He's from 1. No, let's look down here. This might be better. This can't be a 1, first off. So let's put our 1 in. These have to be from 3, 6, and 5. Now, we can say this cannot be 3 or 6, because if it's 3, it sees all of these. If it's 6, it sees all of these. So this is 5. This is not 5. And we've got a bunch of digits that we probably might have a knight's move looking at it, but let's do what these two have to be. They have to be from 2 and 9. We have a 9 here, so let's put those in. That 2 is going to see up here, so it's 3 and 2. We get 6 and 6. We get 3 and 3. We get 5 and 6. We get 9 and 5. And we get 6 and 3. There we go. You solved the puzzle. Cool. So that one turned out that we didn't actually never have to use these as being the exclusivity. In fact, we only used, I think, the exclusivity a couple of times. Namely in the 6th clue where we figured out this was a 1-5 after I understood how to count to 6. Then we found out this would have to be the 2-4. And there might have been 1 or 2 other spots in here that I don't recall if I had gotten them, but the exclusivity didn't come into a massive amount of use here, but it's an interesting concept for Sudoku and these puzzles. So I really enjoyed the fact that it was there. Maybe if the description was a bit more specific, it might have stated, let's look at that actually, since we didn't do it. We have 1s, we have 2s, we have 3s, we have 4s, we have 5s, we have 6s, we have 7s, we have 8s, and we have 9s. So it does appear that the exclusivity would have been usable, because in the end solve, when you got through everything, it does come out to every single value was used singularly on our palindromes. So there we go. We figured that one out. It was, I think it could have benefited either from this, the rules being more specific to say that this does count as a domino, or it could just be, once again, me, that I'm not used to calling this a domino because it's at an angle. But again, that's just me. But I really enjoyed this puzzle. I hope you guys did too. And I hope I get to do some more puzzles by Tingo, because this one was quite pleasant. So anyway, I will see you all later. Hope you have a good one. Thanks.